Hi everyone, and welcome to the Oakville Public Library's Take and Make program. Today's project is a custom woodcut family plaque, and this was made on the laser cutter that's available at the Glen Abbey Creation Zone. Now inside your kit, you'll find a few items. Firstly, you have this white envelope, which contains some of the smaller pieces to our project. You'll also find a spool of twine, and the main wood piece of our project. So this has two sides. On the one side, you'll see a score engraving, and on the other, we have some cut pieces just taped to the back. So we can go ahead and just remove this tape. Now, besides what comes in the kit, you're going to need some wood compatible glue. So I'm using Elmer's Glue Wall, which is a great option because it dries clear. But you can also use regular wood glue or essentially any glue that's going to bind two pieces of wood together. And lastly, for this project, you'll need a pair of scissors. Alright, now to begin, I'm just going to move these pieces aside, and because they're so thin, we're going to be really careful with them just to avoid any breaking. If something does break, you could always just glue it back together. Now flipping this over, I'm going to use these score lines as a way to align my cut pieces, almost like fitting a puzzle together. So I like to test fit all the pieces before I glue them down. Now this project is fairly simple, so you can choose to leave the wood all natural like I've done here, or you can go ahead and decorate it with whatever you have around your house, whether it's paints, stains, maybe some glitter, or markers. And you can see here that I've already decorated some of these medallions, which are going to be used as a way to write the names of all the people in our family or our household, and these are just going to hang from the base of the plaque. So in the envelope, you'll find these medallions in various sizes, as well as some paw prints for those of you who have pets in your family. Now inside the envelope are also these smaller letters that are going to be placed in the middle of the plaque. And just check all corners of your envelope, sometimes pieces will get stuck in there. And once again, I'm just going to do a dry fit to make sure that my letters align with the score marks on the main plaque. Now I should mention that if you plan on decorating your project, you can always decorate the individual cut pieces before you start to place them or glue them down, or you can spray paint the whole project after it's all assembled. So how you choose to decorate your project is totally up to you, and it'll be a great way to represent the uniqueness of your family. So you might consider incorporating some cultural designs or perhaps your favorite colors. Now, if you plan on using markers to decorate, one suggestion would be to do a paint base coat first. So for example, when I was painting my medallions, I painted my heart white or black first, and then I layered the marker on top. You'll find that if you use markers directly on the wood, it's going to want to bleed to follow the grain. Now the last little circular piece is going to be the dot on the top of the eye. Alright, now that I have everything in place, I'm going to secure all the cut pieces with a little bit of glue. Now because nobody enjoys watching glue dry, we're going to fast forward through this part. Just make sure as you apply the glue and place it within the score lines that you press the wood down to create a strong bond between the two pieces of wood. Alright, now that I have all my cut pieces glued down and secured, I'm going to start attaching my medallions. And you can use as many or as few of these as you want. And once again, I've gone ahead and painted them in advance, and I've used a blend of paint, paint pen, and permanent marker. So in this case, I've painted the heart a base paint color of white, and then used a permanent marker to inscribe my name. So I've done the same thing with the paw prints here. I've kept the paint within the score marks, and I'll come in and use a pen to write my pet names. Now at the base of the plaque, you'll see 7 holes. Depending on how many people you want to include in your plaque, you may not use all of the holes, but we're just going to use some of the twine to create a loop and attach all these medallions. Now I'm going to want to vary the heights of my medallions so that they hang at different levels. So I'm going to cut my string at varying lengths to achieve this. And I'm just going to feed the twine in through the back of my first medallion here. And then pull it through the back of my plaque. And sometimes the twine will start to unravel, so I find it helps to twist it, sometimes wet it, and that will give it a finer point to make its way through the cut hole. So I'll pull it through here and then just tie a knot. Now if you prefer to have the knot on the back side, you would actually want to feed the string through the front of the plaque. That way your knot isn't showing on the front of the design. So I'm just going to tie a double knot. And pull it nice and tight. And then I'm just going to trim the ends of the twine here. So now, when you hold your plaque up, the little medallions are going to hang off the base of the plaque. And I've actually made mine a little bit long here, so you can't really see it in the video, but I would actually make this one a little bit shorter. And again, you're going to want to stagger the different medallions so they're not overlapping one another. And I just realized I forgot to glue this tiny little dot for my eye, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright, now you can go ahead and attach as many medallions as you want. There will be 7 holes that you can fill. You can always drill some more. But if you want to get a sense of how the plaque is going to hang, at this point you can attach the string at the top of the project. So I'm just going to cut a piece of string here. And I'm going to feed it through the front. You could also feed it from the back if you want to see the knot. But in this case, I'm going to tie the knot on the back side. And again, you might need to twist the twine so it doesn't fray as you're pulling it through. And here I'm just using a simple knot so that the string doesn't pull through on the other side. And I'll do the same thing with the other end of the string. Right, so this is what you'll use to hang the plaque from a hook. So now I'm just going to go back and start adding in my other medallions. So there you have it, your very own custom family house plaque. And we at OPL would love to see how you decorate your project to represent your family. You can send a picture to creationzone@oakville.ca or tag us on social. Thanks so much for joining us.